This is actually a world premiere for the new TD20 SX drum kit, which is what you see here. And it's very near and dear to my heart since I did some of the programming for this kit. And I discovered this is the actual first time I've played the full production kit. The one that I had at my house was a prototype, and I went to load all my kits in, and none of them work. And that sometimes happens. So I quickly made 2 new kits tonight for the show, and I'll play through a few others. But the TD20 SX is really the pinnacle of professional drums for electronic percussion. I use it on all my recording projects, live dates, and what I really like about it is the playability of this particular kit. This new kit has multiple million combinations of sounds. So I'm going to go through all of those tonight. So we'll be here for about 8 years, I think. Yeah. All right, now I'll just do a few. But that's literally how many combinations of sounds. It's almost limitless. So what that means is that you can create any type of snare drum that you want, any type of tom, any type of cymbal. Nobody has stumped me yet. I always play, let's make a cymbal game, and I ask folks at stores, what's the oddest cymbal you can think of? How about an 18-inch K crash? I said, no, how about something odd? And then usually I have to help, like a 23-inch rivet splash. So you can do all that, anything you can think of. And there's no limit to your creativity. So that means I don't have to have a kick drum where the kick drum is. I can have a djembe there. I can have a talking drum there. I can use my hi-hat pedal to pitch bend notes. So I can pitch bend every different drum, which is really great for world percussion, or timpani. So there's no convention. Some of the kits that I have that I use on recordings, I have actually a floor tom as a kick drum tuned way down. I have brush snare drums. I have talking drums, pot drums, djembes for toms. So there's no limit to the imagination. And what that does is it creates a signature for you as a drummer. So that when you go into the studio, you can come up with a sound that no one else has had. This is also great too for doing projects internationally. I'm right now working with some folks from France, and it's really easy to trade files back and forth, and I can do all the projects without leaving my studio, and that's a really great thing. So electronic percussion is really important, and now the pinnacle of electronic percussion is the TD20 SX. So I'm going to what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just play a song first so you can hear how it mixes. And I'm going to do tonight, over the course of tonight, I'll be playing just 4 songs, 4 completely different types of musical examples. I'm going to start with the tune by Seal, which is a very pop-oriented tune, and very musical type of tune. So I'm going to play that, and you'll hear how the kit blends. This is one of the ones I made tonight. And then later on, I'll do a funk tune from Tower of Power, and then I will do one of the songs from a record, a rock opera that I did a couple years ago. And then I'll end up with some heavier progressive rock just to kind of get the blood flowing. So we'll start with the Seal tune, and then I'll talk a little bit about the technology. Check, 1, 2. Before I do that, while I'm doing this, one of the great features of all of our drum kits is that it has a jack that you can plug in your phone, in this case, or an iPod or anything straight in, so it's great for practicing. So that's what I'm going to do. And when I play to these songs, there's the drum parts that are on here, but I'm going to play as a second drummer might play to these. So, really cool, just plug right in, and I have a mixer right on board. Thank you. All right, so let's go and play a couple of the little sounds in here that are not so little. So, lots of different things. So we went from a pop type of a kit, and now we go to a gated kit, which kind of like that Phil Collins deal. And also, we have some really amazing bebop types of sounds in here. One of the things that, one of the guys that I know did some of the sampling for this session, and they took really very expensive $10,000 mics really high-end mic pre's, and they recorded all day long this 18-inch kick drum and a 1950s Radio King snare drum. So what's really interesting when I first played these sounds is I thought somehow the weather changed the heads and they were really loose, but it's the psychoacoustic. So all of a sudden playing these kinds of vintage sounds was really weird on skins that were really tight like the way I have them. So I'm going to play just a second of this kit. So as you can see, I'm literally letting the weight of the stick drop, so sensitivity is not an issue. It will do everything. It will do shallow rim shots, which is unheard of in electronic percussion. So I can do this. Because in here, it's following my sticks, just like on an acoustic snare drum. When I play an acoustic snare drum towards the edge, it sounds like I'm playing it towards the edge. Same here, so I'll do that again. Good as you can see, I'm choking the cymbals. That's nothing new, but it's just even better on this kit. So, all the nuances of sound. So there's a couple of new things. Some people might be familiar with the TD20 kit. This is the TD20 SX. Some of the new things on here are I have things like kick drum ambience, where on an acoustic kit, the harder you hit the kick, it actually resonates the other drums. I can now control that on this. I can change the amount of that. I can put different numbers of rivets in all the cymbals, including splashes, including chinas. I can have 2 rivets, 4 rivets, 8 rivets, amounts of rivets. Also the new feature, there's new microphones modeling in here. Now this is really a crucial feature. Stand up so some of you can see me. So unless you're standing in front of that kit right here, every other drum sound you've heard is a mic'd kit. And so what we've done with the TD20S, the first module is we put microphone modeling in there, so you can actually mic the drums. This kit now has more microphone choices, including a large diaphragm mic for the kick drum, which that one is. Okay. There's also new environments you can put the drum kit in. You can put it in a concert hall now. You can put it in a jazz club, a ballroom, a rock club. You can put it in a drum booth if you want, or a drum studio. So there's all these new parameters and controls, and still retaining the multiple outputs. So if you're doing a major recording project, like what I do, is once I get everything set and correct, and you know, on occasion I'll actually make a mistake. So once I fix those, the outputs are great because then I can send the kick and snare and the hi-hats and the rides out on separate outputs for recording. So that's really powerful. So that's why this kit is not $9.99. It's quite a bit more than that. And it's not any more than buying a high-end acoustic drum kit, except now you get 100 drum kits out of the box with millions of combinations possible, like I was saying earlier.